Welcome to Echo Base Radio, broadcasting from the coldest corner of the galaxy. He's Rikki, I'm Will, and in today's episode, the inaugural episode, we are going to be doing a review of Mandolorian and Grogu movie, which we saw the other week. We just want to do a bit of backstory into ourselves, how we met, how we came to be friends, how we came to decide, hey, let's do a podcast and put that on the internet and hope nobody laughs at us.
People are going to laugh at us. It's just...
Well, yeah, that's kind of inevitable usually, but still. So, yeah, I had been working at whatever company. I'm still there. He's not. Rip in the chat. He left me. Not sour about that at all.
No.
I had been working at the company for a couple of years, whatever, and the manager at the time said, "Oh, I've managed to recruit a lad. I definitely think you're going to like him. You're going to get on very well." And I was kind of like, what are you talking about? Like, how the fuck do you know, like, who I'm going to get on with kind of thing? And then, lo and behold, this fella walks through the door with, I'm sure, some sort of nerdy t-shirt on. Could have been Marvel, could have been Star Wars, could have been...
I don't remember.
Could have been anime, could have been Atten.
It
was a different one every day, in fairness, but... no, he walked in and immediately we just got on. Because we're the only people who can understand the same level of nerd, basically.
Yeah, language-wise, I speak English, sarcasm, and nerd. You also speak English, sarcasm, and nerd.
Fluent.
Mm-hmm. Nobody else really gets that, so...
No,
that's
and we were kind of
to be.
Firing jokes off to each other and references and stuff, and everyone else in the office kind of looking at us like...
And the quotes.
What are you talking about?
The quotes were always...
And we were just dying laughing.
Yeah.
No, it was very good. It was very good.
It still sickens me to say, though, that he... I'd say it probably sickens you more that he was able to... He got hit the nail on the head.
Oh, yeah, no, it does.
Yeah, I'm never going to admit
and he still takes credit for our friendship to this day.
He's never going to admit that.
No, I'll never admit it to him.
No.
No, absolutely not.
Because he didn't.
Well,
he introduced us. We done all the work.
Exactly.
But I suppose he is a manager, so it's kind of how that goes anyway.
Takes credit for everything.
Yeah. Our friendship did develop quite naturally, and
yeah, I think so.
Kind of culminated in a point where it was like the realization of we are friends and
not just work friends.
Not just work friends.
Yeah.
Which I think is a big distinction. Maybe people don't understand that. I do.
We should. This is why I wanted mugs. That was a clink moment for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I think another thing that we connected on was the fact that we both exist on spite and caffeine.
Yeah.
Your coffee and I'm
for a second then I thought you were going to say the spectrum.
We do, but that might be offensive.
Well, everything's offensive now. Take it or leave it.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think as well what kind of really helps solidify it as well is the fact that like our partners get along so well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they get along really, really well. So that definitely helps.
So before we get into the review portion, any recent news or developments or updates you want to bring up?
Yes, as I was saying to you earlier, and I didn't get too big into it, I've seen a rumour of a new Lego UCS Star Wars set to release soon.
I'm listening.
Expensive. €1,200 expensive.
I have a credit card. Keep going.
Yeah. 8080.
They're re-releasing the 8080.
They might be re-releasing the 8080.
And it's going to be €1,200.
It might be, yeah, I think it might be a new one, like an updated one. Again, only a rumour.
How much was the last? Actually, I'm gonna look it up here. How much the last UCS set was? The last 8080 UCS set.
500, 450.
I think it was more than
Was
that.
it more?
I think it was. I think you're talking.
Because it's been a little while since it was out, and I'm just not sure with, you know.
I think you're talking closer to €800. Okay, so. Yeah, the original retail price was €850.
€850. Okay.
And they are now going for like sealed 1,300, $2,000.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I was looking at some older Lego sets that were releasing, because I was looking at a video of there's a guy, I cannot remember his name, I'll have to find his name. There was a guy he's on YouTube, he's on TikTok, and he basically talks about, he does Lego Star Wars specifically. And he was basically saying about sets that are retiring and kind of when's the ideal time to buy them and what kind of you can expect increase wise in price.
Mm-hmm.
And he was specifically talking about the 5 sets that are being discontinued this year. But he said like the Obi-Wan Starfighter, that's going to be retiring soon. He said
I have that, I think.
Yeah, the last the Anakin Starfighter was I think £40 when it was released. Now they're going for like 120, which is crazy.
I managed to get mine off of Facebook Marketplace for like a tenner.
Yeah, I know.
Because your one had no clue what she had.
Mm-hmm. Better hope she never sees this video, because then she'll know how to find you.
Oops. The piece count, by the way, on the previous UCS 8080 is 6,785.
Okay.
So for that to be worth
1,200,
like,
it's
going to have to be 9,000, 10,000.
It's going to
it's not going to.
Hold on. Think about
you build the same thing. It's like it's a body, a head, and 4 legs.
Yeah. So as you said, the original piece count was like, what was it?
Nearly 7,000.
Nearly 7,000. Yeah. For £1,200, you were saying 9,000 to 10,000, and then you were saying it won't be that big, and I said, well, if you think about it, the most recent UCS set, which was the Death Star, that was just shy of 10,000 pieces. Now, in my opinion, that was not a great set.
I don't rate that set either. But
No.
I think we could nearly do a whole episode on ranking Lego UCS Star Wars sets. Actually, leave a comment if that's something you would want to see. We can definitely do that.
Yeah, because I'm kind of snapping. I got into the hobby so late of collecting the Legos.
Oh, unbelievably so. Yeah, 100%.
I would have loved to get the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, I will get one day. But it's going to be one of those purchases that, like, I'm going to have to be severely financially stable in order to justify spending,
Absolutely,
a couple of thousand on a Lego set.
Yeah.
Like, I'm after getting the Venator in retaliation to you getting the Falcon last year.
And I'm going to get the Venator.
And now you're going to retaliate again by getting the Venator. So
it's not retaliation. You view it as retaliation. I'm just saying it's just that, like...
But it is, though.
No, but we both... But, right, and here's my thinking. 2 Venators. That's my argument.
It's a strong argument. It is a strong argument. I'll give you that. I have to give you that.
Yeah.
I noticed you copied me again.
How?
Well, I Snapchat you the other day saying that I got the Coruscant Guard gunship.
Yeah, of course.
And then saying, I did a thing. I got the last one in Smiths in Nags. And then you text me the other day, I did a thing. I got the last one in Smiths in
Fonthill.
Yeah.
I seen it and I was like...
Because they're discontinued, obviously.
Yeah, Will was like, they're finished, and I'm going, that's on my wish list.
And they're already going up. Like, it's only been discontinued. And the retail price is €150, and they're already going for over 200 online.
Yeah, but you have the Walker.
I do have the Walker.
I need to get that, and I'm probably not going to be able to fucking nab it before it disappears, because it's retiring as well.
Again, Smiths is a very good one for that.
There is some in there, so...
If you're listening / watching on YouTube, and you live in Ireland or the UK, and you have Smiths toys, they are very good for having retired sets, because obviously they get X amount of stock when it comes out, and then it doesn't matter whether Lego is still manufacturing them or not.
No,
they have to sell them off until they have none left. They just won't get restocked.
Oh yeah.
So if you are looking for a set, check Smiths, and you can check online. They have store locators and stock checkers, which is good.
It's not so much copying you; it's just getting sets that I also want that you just happen to.
I'm gonna colour swap it though. I'm gonna colour swap it though.
Yeah, it's not a bad show. I might leave mine in the original, so even though obviously I'd rather have the colour swap version.
The normal Republic gunship.
The normal Republic gunship. Yeah.
But the last decent iteration we got of that was years ago.
I know.
And we thought we were going to get one, an updated one, and then they brought out the Coruscant Guard version instead. And I think that model is like probably the closest you're going to get.
Oh yeah.
But it's just the colours are wrong, and some things with the doors and...
Yeah,
there's a few minor modifications.
I will say this: if Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen get their wish, there will be a live action Clone Wars because
I'd watch the shit out of it.
I think anybody would, because I mean, come on.
Speaking of the Clone Wars, petition for you to finish the bloody Clone Wars.
I would, if it was me watching it on my own, I'd be done. I'd probably be done my second rewatch. But I'm watching it with my wife, who tends to
only be interested for like 2 episodes and then go,
No.
I don't want to concentrate any longer.
no.
That's what mine does.
She can't concentrate for longer. She makes herself unconscious.
Ah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Because we don't get to watch TV until later in the evening.
Yes, indeed.
So then it's so late, and then I'm kind of going, I need to be going to bed soon, and she's like, yeah, I'm with you. So.
But when you do, what season are you on now?
Season 5, we're just on the episode. We literally had to pause it last night, and then by the time I was finished doing what I was doing, she was ready for bed, and I was like, yeah, it's late enough, let's go to bed. We're on the episode with Obi-Wan on Mandalore, when he goes to Mandalore.
Okay.
Don't want to say any more because obviously I know it's been out a while, but spoiler alert in case people haven't watched it.
Cool.
He just met Bo-Katan and realised who she is.
Right.
Literally, he's getting on the ship, and that's when I had to pause it.
Cool.
Because the dog was acting up, so.
Right.
Sort that.
Once you finish season 5,
yeah,
I would like to do your review on the podcast.
Okay.
And I will react to your review to see if, as in, of seasons 1 through 5, like up till now. I would have liked to have done it one at a time, but obviously we're only after doing this. I'm not going to expect you to remember season 1 at this stage.
Well, the only thing I can do is, because I'm watching it with herself, what I could do is I could rewatch season 1, then give you my review of season 1, because it's been like a year or more of trying to get
if you want to do that,
the whole series
by
finished.
all means.
Yeah, because I can watch it on the side.
I'd be mostly interested in season 6 and season 7.
Yeah,
In
they're the big ones. I know that much.
Season 7, you will, your head will explode.
Yeah, because I know some stuff. I obviously know that for season 7 there was live action choreography for the fight scenes. I know some stuff because obviously it's been out for a long time.
Yes.
I can't avoid all the spoilers, but I can avoid
favourite animated show of all time.
Totally understandable.
And that's saying something.
That is completely understandable.
Avatar: The Legend of Aang is a thing, and I'm still saying that.
Yeah. I'm also a massive anime fan, as you know, so for me it's kind of like it slots in there, but difficult. I mean anime is top tier and very hard to.
And the weird thing is, I hated it at first.
She doesn't like the
animation. The
animation style is a bit unsettling.
It's hard to get on with at first, but once you get used to it looks like that, you look past it. You don't even see it. It's more to do with the characters and the story.
Yeah, once you get into
everything else,
it's excellent.
That was very hard for me to get past in the beginning, though.
Same,
I will admit that.
Same with herself, and I totally understand it. Not so much for me because, as I said, I'm a big anime fan. Animes always have different art styles, and some are a lot more unsettling and off-putting than others. And it's when you're used to one style of anime, because again, I'm a little bit older than you. I grew up and remember my anime introduction would have been Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, same. Pokemon was the first animating that I watched, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it is for most people.
And sort of around the same age, maybe the Avatar: The Legend of Aang. I would say he's around the same age, but I've rewatched Avatar as an adult and I still love it.
Yeah, I know we're getting
Yu-Gi-Oh is awesome. I want to find Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is nowhere. It's not on Crunchyroll. It's not on anything.
Disney.
The whole thing, from the very start.
I would recommend if you're going to do it. I know we're off topic here. I would recommend if you're going to do it, Dragon Ball. We're going to come back around
in a second.
So you've got multiple series. I'll talk about that to you later. But I would recommend if you're going to do Dragon Ball Z, which is the big one. It's the one everybody knows.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Even though that's technically the second series.
Yeah,
because the original series is Dragon Ball, which is about really young Goku.
Mm-hmm.
But Dragon Ball Z, I would definitely recommend doing Kai because it cuts out a lot of the filler, which for casual anime watchers, the filler's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, I mean, I watched Attack on Titan.
Yeah, no, the filler for Dragon Ball. The filler for Dragon Ball Z, I can't remember the actual episode count. I'll have to look it up for you. But there's a massive chunk just cut out of it. 10 episodes condensed into 2 episodes, kind of.
Okay.
You're talking like all of Attack on Titan's episodes would be the equivalent of the amount of filler you're cutting out,
Fair
which
enough.
is a lot. You know, so I would definitely, but we can talk about that. But we're off track a little bit. But yeah, the point I was making was like I've watched a lot of anime over time, and yeah, getting used to the different art styles. I'm okay with that, but I can completely understand why some people will go, it's really jarring.
Yeah, I just can't get past
it. And I kind of, when I was talking to herself, I kind of figured out it's to do with the sharpness of the animation.
Yeah.
There's so many sharp corners.
Yeah, it's not very rounded.
Yeah. Random fact as well, just to go back a little bit, to kind of backpedal a little bit. Avatar, Legend of Aang, not an anime.
I wish everyone would stop telling me this.
Technically it's not an anime,
Yes,
but
I know technically it's
among most anime fans,
it's considered
an anime.
It's an honorary mention. It gets a pass, okay?
Yeah, they basically created it using an awful lot of the storytelling and techniques that they did and do in Japan. So, you know, it's fine. It's just a random fact. Anybody who is a fan will do the same thing. They'll tell you the same thing. So
yes, I'm aware that it is technically a cartoon. It's not
an
anime.
So I can do that. I can rewatch Clone Wars on my own up as far as season 5.
Yeah,
and that way then I can basically give you my review season by season.
I'd love to do that. Let us know yourselves if that's something that you guys would want to see or listen to. I know the Clone Wars, the TV series has been out for some time, but I always find it interesting that like Rikki still hasn't watched it in its entirety, and
I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people.
No, you're not the only one.
I was watching it. Got to like season, like when Disney Plus launched, I was watching it. Got to season 3, and then I was like, oh, I want to watch it too. So we went back and started.
But like I've watched it in comparison. I watched it for the first time in. Oddly enough, I didn't catch it as it was coming out. When Disney like rebooted it and finished it off. But I think it was 2021. I watched it for the first time, and I'd say I've rewatched it since. I rewatch it the whole thing in its entirety at least once a year. At least.
That's good. It's impressive.
It's a little bit ridiculous.
It's impressive.
But, it is the prequels. It is my favourite. You know.
It's so lore heavy and
it's
so character driven, and there's so much development.
It fleshes out.
It gives you so much more information, and so much which again gives you a lot more context to what's going on.
I'd highly recommend anybody watch it.
Yeah, 100%. No, I'd definitely be the same. Even though I haven't finished that, it would definitely be the same. But yeah, no, we can do that anyway. Do you want to do the review?
Yeah, enough waffle. We will now get into our review of the Mandalorian and Grogu. So we kind of each had written down some points that we want to bring up, and we're just going to kind of take it in turns and hope that this doesn't go on for too long. But yeah, so a little bit about the film. It was released May 22nd. Obviously, this video is being published 2026, so it's May 22nd, 2026. We took a couple of weeks to get around to seeing it.
Yes.
Because we both have wives and kids and full-time jobs, so it's,
yeah.
You know,
I had started my new job, you had gone away, you had some things on, so just timing wise, being adults, life complicates things.
It's the first Star Wars movie released in 7 years, and it's been 3 years since the final episode of season 3 of The Mandalorian, which was released in April 2023. Interesting that before we get into our scores for the film, it got 62% on Rotten Tomatoes. And normally I do judge Rotten Tomatoes fairly like, okay,
yeah, I think
that's like the bar for a film.
Yeah, I do think the reason it got that rating is there's a couple of points behind that, and I definitely have something to kind of share about that. I think I do kind of understand why some people might go about that way, but then at the same time I think it might be a little bit unfair.
I think this is a film, again, this maybe is one of the points worth saving for later, but I think that score is a little bit harsh. I think critics are going to not like it as much as the general audiences.
Yeah, critics are always going to be harsher in my opinion. So
yeah, there was that.
Yeah, I do find, especially recently with movies though, critics and audiences don't seem to be aligned on a lot of movies.
No.
Especially on the sci-fi and fantasy and
100%. And especially on Oscar winners, apparently.
Yeah.
Critics love stuff that sucks balls.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Because I've watched some movies that have been Oscar nominations and Oscar winners, and I'm going, I've seen better movies.
Just don't get it.
Here.
Yeah.
Don't. I think it's just not something I'll ever understand. But anyway.
And I have some box office opening figures for you. The opening weekend figures.
I seen them. I was reading an article, and I did see them, but I didn't hit them to memory. I just kind of glanced past them as I was reading through.
Okay, so this is not including the figures for the original trilogy. So this is, of course, the Star Wars films that have been released in cinemas. It's not including the original trilogy because this data wasn't obviously available back then. There was no
it'd
way
be
for
hard
them
to
kind of
find.
track
It would be a lot harder to figure that out.
The global market,
Mm-hmm.
they could track it, say in the US, like domestically, but they weren't able to do worldwide audiences. And this is the information I have is in dollars, but these are the worldwide opening weekend figures.
Yeah,
it's including.
Look, it's always.
Everywhere
I think it's always in dollars anyway. So.
I think this list in general is very interesting, but this is the top 9, right? So at the top, and this kills me, is The Force Awakens. With 530 million.
See, I think the reason behind that is because it was the
first one in
Star Wars movie in how long, and it was a continuation of the mainline
hype.
storyline.
Yeah.
So I think it
was real.
Yeah, it really was. Like, I went to see that in cinema. I went to see all of them in cinema because, like, once I done the first one, I was like, I have to do the other ones.
It's Star Wars in the cinema.
Yeah, it just has
No matter what your opinion is on the sequels, it's Star Wars in the cinema.
Exactly.
Like, you have to go.
You have to go.
Speaking of Star Wars in the cinema, The Last Jedi, 450 million at number 2.
Yeah.
And The Rise of Skywalker, 375.6 million at number 3. So all the sequels, top 3 highest grossing opening weekends.
Is that accounting
Star
for?
Wars.
I have one question on. I'd like to know if it is accurate. Is that accounting for inflation?
No. And I have a note down here as well saying these figures are not adjusted for inflation because I couldn't be bothered.
Fair enough. You're channeling your inner Clarkson there.
So, if anybody out there wants to adjust these figures for inflation and rejig this list, I'd be interested to see that. Because that was the first thought I had, was like, no, you're not allowed to be that high. Definitely, if I do Revenge of the Sith and adjust for inflation, it's going to trump something.
I mean,
but...
I'm going to be honest.
Okay, number 4, which I'm not mad at, is Rogue One.
Yeah.
290.5 million.
Yeah, I get it.
Not mad at that. Number 5, Attack of the Clones, 179.3 million. Again,
my favourite.
You can understand that.
That is my favourite of the prequels. Just, I'm a massive fan of the clones. And the big battle with all the Jedi is, for me, cinematically, is fantastic.
Then, at number 6, we have Solo.
I don't get that. See, I don't get it because, for me personally, I didn't think Solo was terrible. I know you're not a fan.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
I'm basing my opinion off of the community's reaction to the film.
So, I watched it.
And as well, like, Harrison Ford is Han Solo.
Of course he is.
Like,
I watched it. And I think the big thing for me with it, and I think this is also kind of the effect that the sequels had, the sequels had on me, is so forgettable.
Yeah.
They don't have an impact. They don't leave an impact. So that's the movie I dislike the most of the sequels, simply because of I'm an original trilogy fan. I love the original trilogy. You know, obviously it's all about Vader, because no villain in cinematic history has had such awesome screen presence. Like, come on, greatest.
He invented aura farming, I think.
100%. He's the greatest. I will die on this hill. He is the greatest cinematic villain of all time.
Like, he comes down. I can't remember if this was in Kenobi. I think it was in Kenobi. Like, he's standing on top of his TIE fighter,
Yeah.
using the Force to fly it.
Yeah.
Like, while still and also, by the way, he's in space, so there is no wind. There's nothing. His cape is flapping. He's using the Force to flap his cape.
Yes.
He invented aura farming.
100%.
That's just the way it is.
But like, yeah. So for me, I'm going original trilogy. I love it. It holds a special place in my heart. I'll always be original trilogy over prequels. I've no issue with the prequels. No, that's wrong. I have few issues with the prequels.
Can we get as least sidetracked from the point you're trying to make as possible?
But the point I'm trying to make is you've Luke Skywalker. And it's so much material they could have pulled from. They could have picked and choose little bits from Legends and gone, this is our Luke Skywalker. And instead they just went... It felt to me like the director just did not like the character of Luke Skywalker.
How is this linking to the fact that Solo is sixth on this list?
Because the point I'm making is they're all so forgettable. The only thing that really sticks out in my mind from the sequels and Solo is what the injustice they did to Luke Skywalker and the fact that Darth Maul is in Solo. That's it. I genuinely, most of Solo I couldn't even tell you. I don't remember most of the scenes with Lando in it.
It still made 172 million.
Yeah.
Which, in fairness, Solo, right, was considered the biggest flop that Star Wars had in the cinema. And unfortunately, the Mandolorian Grogu didn't even beat that.
Yeah.
167 million. Which I think is very unfair.
It absolutely is.
But, again, I think you have to bring external factors into consideration. The cost of living now is horrendous. Maybe that has something to do with why less and less people are going to the cinema.
Yeah.
We have streaming services, which for the last, I don't know how long, all new Star Wars content has been on Disney Plus.
Absolutely.
And that's the way people are used to consuming it.
As well as that, you will also get a lot of people who, because of the cost for streaming services, because they're paying for them, they're going to go, I can wait until
I can wait a couple of weeks till it comes out on Disney Plus and just watch it at home on my 65-inch TV.
75, there's 85-inch TV, there's big TVs, 4K monitors, you're going to get high resolution, you're going to have all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can understand from that side of things.
100%.
I think I'd like to see, in maybe 6 months, where it stands in terms of Rotten Tomatoes score and how many people have watched it. I'd like to see the figures for watch statistics of that on Disney Plus versus Solo versus the prequels versus Rogue One, so on and so forth.
That'd be cool.
Because I think that would really highlight the actual bigger picture of what's going on.
Number 8 is Revenge of the Sith, 158.4 million. And number 9 is The Phantom Menace, 105.6 million. Now, I'm sure if you, like you say, adjusted those for inflation, they get moved around, but that's where we are.
I think so.
Mandalorian Grogu didn't even crack the top 5, didn't even crack to be above Solo, which is widely considered to be Star Wars' biggest flop film in the last...
Again, I think the hype was there for that as well, though, because it's Han Solo.
There's an argument to be made there. The scores. So, rating out of 10, do you have yours?
I know it.
Do you think it's going to surprise me? Or do you think we're going to align?
I don't think we're going to align, but I think we're going to be close, is my thinking. I think it might surprise you, but we'll see.
Okay, ready? Scores out of 10 for the Mandalorian and Grogu film. 3, 2, 1, 7.
7.5.
Okay, we're pretty close.
Yeah,
we're pretty on the money. If I had a mug, I would clink you right now.
7.5.
I'll give you that.
I have a couple of detractions about the movie.
7.5, yeah.
I'm very much a person who will say no movie's perfect. I'm not a 10 out of 10 kind of movie person.
No, I'm trying to get better at when I'm rating things 10 out of 10, like food or movies or games or whatever. I'm trying to withhold my 10 out of 10.
Perfect. And for me as well, as I'm trying to be, when I watch stuff, I'm trying to be as subjective as possible with stuff.
I think 7 out of 10 is generous.
Yeah, I'm 7.5 because, again, for me, overall, it was a very enjoyable experience and I quite enjoyed the movie. But I do, again, it's not perfect. I have a couple of gripes with it. I'm not going to say I don't. But overall, I think it was good.
I gave it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. I don't know if you have Letterboxd.
I don't have Letterboxd.
You should get Letterboxd.
I'll get Letterboxd. Yeah, I'd probably agree with you on your 3.5.
Erica gave it a She gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd, and no, sorry, she gave it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. But then when I asked her about it, she said, "Oh no, I give it like a 6 out of 10." But in fairness, she did miss 40 minutes of the film, the last 40 minutes of the film, because our daughter was crying and she had to vacate the.
My theory on that is that because Mando's a good guy, your daughter's clearly working for the Sith and trying to.
I would not be surprised at this.
She's trying to, pull away from the support for the new Republic.
So do you want? Will we do negatives first?
If you want to do negatives, do you want to start?
We'll do negatives first.
You can start.
Thank you very much. You're very kind.
Mm-hmm.
So, going off what you just said, actually, kind of my first point here is that it's very. It feels like it's aimed more at kids, because it was rated 12A.
Yeah, and I do have a question. In terms of what you're talking about now, I have a question to ask you after this,
Okay.
which I think will relate to that.
Because it was kind of aimed more at kids, it's very low stakes.
Yeah.
There's I didn't have a lot of emotional investment in it really. At no point in the movie did I feel the same level of stress that I did watching the TV show.
Yes.
Or watching, the episodic movies. At no point was I did I actually have fear for the characters. It was kind of very
I do have
predictable.
Yeah.
I knew kind of they were going to be all right.
Yeah.
I knew kind of what was going to happen because it's aimed at a younger thing. That's not necessarily a negative.
No, I can understand why they're doing that
kids,
because obviously with Star Wars, a lot of the fans of Star Wars when the original came out that now have adult money to spend were kids.
True.
And that's why merchandise is there's so much merchandise. It's why you have so many Lego sets, as we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's why the newer movies always have big releases, because obviously, like you said, it's Star Wars in cinema. It's special, in my opinion. It is special because you get the opening sequence, you get the music, you get the John Williams score,
I'm literally
and
getting
it's going
goosebumps.
Just
thinking
sitting
about
there, and it's you feel it in your chest. There's just something special. It's it's just, for me, it's unique to Star Wars. I don't get that with everything else.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I was so hyped when the Marvel movies were coming out, and Infinity War and the absolute level of excitement for Infinity War was insane for me. But still nothing compared to the feeling and sensation I get when I go to cinema and see Star Wars.
Yeah, I think it's just the low stakes and the very okay, you were kind of in a little bit of bother there, but you're gonna be all right. That kind of put me off it a little bit because it's just not very interesting then when there's nothing at stake. You're just kind of going along and everything's
because
fine.
if you think about Revenge of the Sith, you've got the big fight scene.
Yeah.
And that is so emotionally charged and it's so tense, and you're watching it and it's you know what's going to happen. Even Star Wars, it's been out for however long.
Even rewatching it, you still feel that.
Yeah. Well,
but
even rewatching it, when I'm watching it, I'm still going, maybe Anakin won't turn this time. I just still have that hope deep within me going, just this one time, don't turn.
Even when you're watching the Mandalorian TV show, there's episodes. I think it's episode 6 of season 1. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I genuinely was Grogu might die here.
Oh yeah,
I had that fear.
That the TV show definitely had a lot more character investment from a fan point of view, I think.
Oh, 100%.
You really felt, I don't want to say word, you really felt emotional about what was happening to
You were
these characters.
connected to the characters.
Yeah.
You were
because I remember when
emotional investment in it.
I remember when, and again, my favourite scene from the TV show.
When I lost my mind.
Yeah. But I remember, and it was my favourite scene in the TV show, I remember when Luke shows up.
Yeah.
And he saves them and you think, oh, it's so epic. And
there's nothing like that in this movie.
No.
There's
But,
nothing like that in this movie.
He saves them, and then he takes Grogu away. It's so like, because he shows up, he saves them all. It's such an elated moment.
Yeah.
Followed by, I don't want to say a tragedy, but it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Watching him leave with Grogu, you understand it
because you've watched Mando and Grogu create this friendship, this father-son bond.
Yeah, there's a special bond,
and then he gets taken away from it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing like that happens in this movie.
No.
And that's why that's a negative for me. Is the low stakes,
I
the
get
low
that.
emotional investment. There's nothing that shocked me or worried me or anything to the
there was
extent
no
that
great
other
twist.
things in Star Wars have.
Yeah, there was no great twist.
Another thing. This is a very small thing that annoyed me, and again, it's not a plot spoiler, but it is a thing that happens, and I don't know if it happens in the trailer, but like Mando losing his helmet again. The fact that we went through nearly a whole season of television of someone has seen his face, so now we have to go do this whole pilgrimage and bathe in the waters of Mando and everything else.
You had
put his helmet back on, and then it's like immediately,
thing.
Now his helmet's off, somebody else has seen his face. That kind of annoyed me, but it did enable the setup for a badass line, where the Hutts are kind of saying to him, we know your creed, we know your religion, like we've seen your face, you'll be an outcast and all this, and then he kind of goes, not if you're all dead. That's badass.
It is.
That is badass.
It is awesome.
It just annoyed me the fact that he's able to have his fucking helmet removed again.
That
was kind of a small thing. It didn't knock a full point off, but it was annoying.
You would think in a galaxy far, far away with superior advanced technology, they'd find a way to keep their helmets
Honestly.
like a technological,
Like,
they have space wizards.
Magnetic lock or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it Rata the Hutt? Rata the Hutt?
Rata the Hutt.
Rata the Hutt.
Rattha. Am I wrong in the spelling?
Rata, yeah.
Rata.
That guy, anyway, Jabba's son.
Yeah.
Him speaking English was weird for me. Again, I think that's because it's tied into the being more for kids. Like, he had to speak English so that young kids can understand what is being said. I would nearly rather have been him speaking Huttese with English subtitles, especially since Mando can speak Huttese. They could have had every conversation they had in Huttese, and it would have been much more immersive. I feel like it takes you out of the immersion of the world and the universe, the fact that he's speaking English. I know that's not a very far-fetched thing to happen, but you never heard Jabba the Hutt speak a word of English.
See, I don't agree with you on that point, and the reason why I don't agree with you is because I'm thinking of the character, and I did think about this as well, because initially I was like, I think it's going to bother Will that he's speaking English. He never really speaks Huttese. I don't know, whatever. He doesn't speak, he doesn't speak the alien language, and I'm going, I had a feeling you were going to have a problem with that, but in my mind I went,
that did knock a full point off. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but to me it makes sense because the whole arc of the character, even though it was quite short in the movie, the whole arc of the character is he doesn't want to be Jabba. He's trying not to be his father. So
I get that, but he's
one
still
of the biggest
Hutt.
thing. Yeah, but one of the biggest things is he doesn't really speak any Huttese. He only really speaks English.
I get
Well,
that.
I say English, but I think they call it Galactic Common.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
But basically, he doesn't speak it, and I think the point is he's trying to show it's him as a character outwardly trying to show he's not his father.
Yeah.
That's why his character design as well, like he's muscular, he's strong.
Yeah, no.
And as I pointed out to Lynn, that's what the Hutts were like centuries ago, millennia ago, when they first started conquering the galaxy. It wasn't criminal organizations and underhanded dealings and shit. It was war. They were a warlike species. So I think it was very, for me, it didn't bother me, but I had a feeling it was something you were going to have an issue with when we were watching it.
Yeah, no, I just don't like it. I just don't like it.
No. Again, personal taste, as everyone's going to have their own personal preference. Because I'm going to make a point here that I don't think is going to bother. You're probably going to go, nah, it doesn't bother me. It's something that bothered me. It didn't sit right with me. It's one of my cons. It didn't sit right with me.
Okay. All right.
You know.
I don't have much left in the negatives,
No,
and then
that's fine.
and then you can go.
Yeah.
So again, I kind of touched on it a little bit, but the predictability of it, I could kind of see what was coming. Nearly every act, especially the third act.
Yeah. So my biggest con with the movie, and this is what really detracted it for me, was they set it up. First act of the movie. Mando is working for New Republic, hunting down major targets of
The remnants of the Empire.
And I'm going, excellent.
What a brilliant premise.
What a fantastic idea. Doing a movie just on that, hunting down different targets and showing Mando's skill as a bounty hunter and just showing the skills of a Mandalorian.
Sold.
Yeah, I'd watch that movie over and over and over again.
Could watch 12 episodes of TV of that.
100%.
You know?
Like, if I would love an episodic TV show where every episode he's hunting down a specific member of the Imperial Remnant.
I mean, you could do like 2 episodes per bounty.
Oh, absolutely.
But yes.
Yeah.
100%.
So I was like, I want to explore that. And like Sigourney Weaver, fantastic.
Major positive.
Yeah. Zeb,
yes.
brilliant.
He
was a great character.
He's one of my positives.
I think he really brought a lot to the show. Overall, to the movie, I think he brought a lot. We'll get to that in a minute. But
we'll get to that when we do. I want to get to that when we do.
The con of it for me is they said the whole act one was set up with that. Oh, the Hutts know where he is. They want you to do something for them, and I said, right, okay.
That makes sense.
Thought it was going to be act one, set up what's actually happening.
Yeah.
He goes and meets the Hutts. They give him, bring back our nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes off, finds the nephew, goes, okay, captures him, brings him back, finds out, Imperials. Perfect. Does that and then goes after the Imperials. Really thought that's what we're going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
The fact is they set it up like that and then went, the Imperials don't matter. Forget the Imperial Remnant. Yeah. Because the opening scene is the best scene in the movie, in my opinion.
Like, they set up, as you say, the main villain they set up was the Imperial Remnant.
Yeah.
That was like, okay, this is the bad guy in the film. And then halfway through the film, they changed tack and they went, oh no, actually, it's the Hutts.
Yeah. And to me, it's going, of course the Hutts are bad guys. The Hutts are always bad guys.
It's very jarring.
We knew the Hutts are bad guys since fucking A New Hope when you meet Jabba. You know he's a criminal man, so you know the Hutts are bad guys. That's nothing new. And I understand, the Imperial, they were the enemies. Yes, of course they were the enemies. They're always the enemies. They're an ideal enemy. They're fucking fascists. Why would you not want to fight fascists?
Space fascists.
Space fascists. They're still fucking fascists. Like, let's not split hairs over where they're being fascist. They're still fascist.
Well, they're intergalactic. That's a new level of fascism.
It's just fascism on a grander scale.
Well, I suppose, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I was hyped for that when Act 1 happened, and then Act 2 carried on from it. But then it was like, the Imperials. I'm like,
it kind of felt...
What do you mean, the Imperial... Like, no. Not, the Imperials. No, Imperials.
Yeah, it kind of felt...
I wanted to be a bigger deal.
Fell flat on its face.
Yeah,
in Act 2.
because it wasn't the First Order, which was... Yeah.
It was one guy shouting.
Yeah, it was one guy throwing a tantrum. No, the Imperial Remnant, especially when you've got the concept of the 3 seasons of the TV show, you're like,
Which also, by the way, this is the movie following the 3 seasons of setup that we've had. That this is the premise of who the bad guys are in the Mandalorian and Grogu universe.
And again,
or not universe,
I guarantee you, because of the box office, we're not going to get to see that story anymore.
I'd say that would have been a much bigger twist, as you say, if it was episode 10 or 11 out of 12 versus our 1 hour 30 of a 2 hour film.
Yeah, because realistically,
if I had 10 episodes thinking this is what's happening,
realistically, the thing with the Hutts, if it was a TV show, the thing with the Hutts could have been rounded up in 2 or 3 episodes, and 2 episodes, and it would have been fine to have that in the middle of a season to break up the middle of the season.
Yeah,
you know, especially with the whole Mando nearly dying thing, and then getting to see a bit of Grogu doing stuff. But like the fact they just went with that and then went, we're just going to stay here. I was like, but like, what about
all this
like
that you did?
Yeah, like what about all the work you did over here? What about over here?
Yeah.
Like, where's the rest of it? So that really massive gripe for me, and it knocked off points for me because of that. Because I'm going, guys, why?
It just doesn't make sense.
Because not only that, they could have used it to then launch a new series of Star Wars movies, not even based around Mando. You could have brought up the fact that, like, Ahsoka brought up Thrawn, and I'm going, perfect. Or Tron even. Tron.
Yeah.
I'm going, like, that's perfect. Give us a big bad. Give us a proper big bad. Not some fucking baby having a cry, or some guy just screaming about stuff, or some weird fucking clone of Palpatine, but not a clone of Palpatine, but is a clone of Palpatine thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've decided the villain's going to be Palpatine again. Like, what? No.
They don't. Disney don't seem to.
No,
bother
but
about
I think
sticking with one.
I think if they
bad
just
guy.
let Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau lead Lucasfilm, leave them alone, they will make so much fucking money.
Well,
And
Kathleen Kennedy's your problem. Her name was.
she's
attached
not.
to
She's not. Yeah, but she's not there anymore. Dave Filoni's now the head of Lucasfilm.
it. Yes, but Kathleen Kennedy's name is still attached to that.
Yes.
Which I think accounts for probably a lot of the reasons.
Yeah,
why I
think.
don't like it.
Again, what really put a bad taste in my mouth with her was the fact that she blamed the fans for why the Acolyte failed, and I kind of made the point of going, she blamed the fans saying they're sexist because they didn't like a female lead, but I made the point of going, these are the same people who are paying your wage. But the big point I made was, this released at the same time as Fallout. The Acolyte and Fallout came out, season 1 came out together. Female-led cast.
Yep.
Good supporting cast. Especially with, like, the older, wiser, you know, oh, this guy's grizzled, he knows what he's been through. You've got the two of them. That worked really well because it was really well written. They used Star Wars, like, they used the Fallout lore, but did something new. They did something different. They kept the core concept of what Fallout is. A vault where it leaves the vault. The games are very successful for a reason. Goes off into the wasteland and kind of has a realization of, oh shit, the world isn't what I've been led to believe.
Yeah.
The Acolyte had the same potential, and they just went, and they just, like, the writing just wasn't in it for me.
No, because again, they've taken a lot of, like, the source lore and the source concepts and just
Yeah.
goodbye,
Like,
don't need that. But at the same time, when you're saying about female lead, I'm sorry, Padme,
fantastic.
Leia.
Yeah, brilliant.
Like, how are you getting through Star Wars and then saying, oh, Star Wars fans are sexist? That you don't like the fact that there's a main character who's female.
Yeah. 100%. Like,
What
Padme
are you talking
is such a great character. She's so well written, so well developed. Leia, she's such a strong character. Now, I understand in the back of what was going on with Star Wars, obviously being done in the 60s, there was other issues back then, which weren't viewed as, obviously back then they weren't viewed as issues. But Carrie Fisher didn't really bother her, but she did kind of make that point of going, you know, he was a dick. And I'm going, yeah, no, fair enough, I completely see your point. Valid point. But yeah, so that was my big con, was just the fact that they
couldn't pick a villain.
They could, yeah, it just felt so disjointed, and they set this all up that we're going after the Imperial Remnant, and I'm like, perfect,
Brilliant,
perfect idea, especially for Mando as a character.
Yeah, that's exactly what
he started as a bounty hunter, had his redemption, and now he's going to go take down the Imperials, and I'm like, he's going to go after the Imperial Remnant, and like, you could have let on from that going, oh, he's after taking down 5 of 6 targets, and now this 6th target is just after amassing all the power because there's a vacuum.
Yeah.
You know, unforeseen consequences. You've got a vacuum now. You've got this one guy standing above it all, one woman, one whoever, standing above it all.
And then there would be
stakes.
And
then you have a bigger threat.
And then there would be stakes.
Yeah.
The stakes would be higher. I'd have higher emotional investment in it.
Yeah.
All the things that bother me about this film, like, the threat level is low. The stakes are low. Like, and I think a lot of that probably comes from your point on what you're saying.
Yeah, just the disjointedness of the story, and the fact that, like, they set it up one way and just go another way, and then instead of, you know, following the natural progression, what in my opinion, what would have been the natural progression, they just completely detracted and went off the side.
Yeah. Are you still on negatives, or are you?
No, I'm
negatives?
finished with my negatives. I'm finished with my cons. I just have my pros, and then a couple of little facts and tidbits that I think you'll enjoy. One of them being about the Jericho match, and then I have a couple of questions.
Okay, I did negatives first. You want to do positives first?
Yeah, I can start with positives.
You start with positives.
Because my positives are fairly
It's kind of
thing.
fair.
So my do you want my big positives, small positives first?
You can go with big.
Okay. Big positive for me, the opening sequence.
Agreed.
Fucking brilliant. I loved how it showed Mando's skill.
Yeah.
It showed how good he is. And that's what I want to see more of, obviously, with him. And then obviously Grogu crushing the mouse droid with the Force.
One of my points here is that Grogu's learned a lot more Force abilities. Like throughout the whole thing, you see him use Force push, lift, the Force healing, taming animals, and I said, was that Force crush he was using at the start? With the mouse droid?
It felt like it was.
That's what I thought it was.
But the
Regardless,
reason
it was very cool.
Yeah, the reason I thought it was so cool was it was the perfect mix or balance or whatever you want to say of like action and comedy with him doing that and the right amount of comedic element to it. Because like it's a mouse droid.
And it wasn't so ridiculous that he's gone from not being able to do very much at all to then being like, oh, here's a battalion of stormtroopers and he's just knocking them all down.
Yeah,
it's a mouse droid.
It's a mouse droid.
But it's still very cool.
It's still cool. It's a cool scene, but at the same time, it kind of gives you the perfect amount of kind of. It put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Because it's good. It's good. It was kind of in my point there. I have like it's the perfect tone.
Mm-hmm.
It set the perfect tone for that scene because the scene was quite tense. And then that kind of leveled it a little bit, and then it brought it back to that intensity once Mando showed up.
Yeah.
Agreed. The casting in the movie was brilliant.
Impeccable.
Absolutely brilliant. Because every character felt new, fresh, unique, interesting. They felt fantastic. And the big one for me was Zeb. He left a great impression on me.
I love Zeb. Zeb is one of my big
positives away from
as
the
well.
movie going, I'd like to see more of him.
I do think it was strange how, I love Zeb as a character. I think he added a lot.
Yeah.
Although he wasn't in the film very much.
Yeah.
And obviously he would be from Rebels, if you've watched Rebels, which
I
you also haven't watched that.
No.
But
that one I'm not, again, I probably should watch it, but I don't know if I'm going to.
He's a massive character in Rebels. And the fact that again, that exists as a whole thing, and they've taken a character from that, put him into here with very little backstory or explanation as to why he's there, who he is, what his relevance is, what his skills are. I know who he is because I watch Rebels.
Yeah.
But
I think
general audiences will not know who he is.
He's a new character. He was a new character to me.
He's just an alien fella.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But I think...
But even at that, his presence is still a positive of the film.
Yes, definitely is. And I think... the reason they put him in and didn't give him backstory is he seems to already have quite a rapport and a good relationship with Mando.
So you can kind of assume that he's just he's part of Mando's new crew.
Yeah, but you can it also, I think, helps you kind of gauge Mando's been doing this with the Republic for a while.
Yeah. Because
he's very clearly part of the new Republic because he's got the Rebel Alliance fucking logo on him. And then, of course, as I said earlier, the Anzelians. The Anzelians were, to me... It was like you took the Ewoks, redeveloped them, and came out with the perfect version of them.
Yeah,
because don't get me wrong, the Ewoks are great, but I can understand I
love the Ewoks.
Yeah, but when those movies came out,
people hate them.
Yeah, when those movies came out, the Ewoks were despised and a big part of it is how are these tiny little forest creatures taking out ATSTs and fucking stormtroopers and shit? And I'm going. It's kind of the whole point of it was you've all this advanced technology versus basic survival skills, But I think the Anzelians were great, perfect kind of, I guess the perfect amount of words in what they were saying. You couldn't understand everything they said,
no,
but there was enough words to get the point across,
and they also weren't in it
too much.
Yeah, it wasn't oversaturated.
No, they didn't take over.
Oh, look at these cute things.
Yeah, they
didn't
really take over, and they didn't take away from or detract from Grogu.
No, they just added.
Yeah, they were their own thing.
They were
there, then they weren't there.
They're little enablers,
and then they were gone.
They're little enablers. They're just enabling him.
Yeah, and it was great. They kind of had the perfect intro. They were in it for the perfect amount of time, in my opinion, and then the perfect little outro. They were, when they finished, they were gone. I was like, yeah, great.
And again, that kind of tied it in for Disney as a franchise, like for Disney owning Star Wars as a franchise. They were in it for me to tie this film to the sequels in some way.
Yes. Yeah.
For me, that's the reason they were there. But I loved them. I thought they were great.
They were great. Like my point with them was they provided great entertainment within the scope of the movie.
No, 100%.
And then another big one for me was the set design. The set design, the locations, nailed it. They fucking nailed it, in my opinion. Yeah. And again, I think that's one thing I can say with consistency across Star Wars movies, even bad ones. The set designs and the locations that they choose and the what they go for really works. It does. I do really like the set designs, but in the movie in context of the movie, they felt very appropriate. Yeah. Especially Shikari, the city he was in. Mm-hmm. It felt sleazy, it felt Outer Rim, but felt new to Star Wars because it was different from everything else.
Yeah, it didn't look like Coruscant. It didn't look like somewhere we'd been before.
It felt like yeah, it gave you the feel of big city like Coruscant, but it gave you the grittiness and that of the Outer Rim systems.
They could have done. I'm very surprised that they didn't do the typical thing and reuse something they've done before, like Mos Eisley, or like Canto Bight. Even if they're making a new city, they could have made it look like Coruscant or Canto Bight or something like that.
But they went
because they've done a city on that scale before in those things. But
it felt almost like they took the inspiration from the lower levels of Coruscant.
I was going to say the lower levels of Coruscant.
Yeah, because you only got a couple of scenes in the lower levels.
Yeah, it was taking inspiration from that. It wasn't directly
it felt new. It felt different.
Yeah. No,
and then the fight scene in the bar was phenomenal as well.
Oh, again, because your man's going to get effed up.
Yeah, Mando versus the henchmen. The henchmen get fucking wrecked. And I'm like, love that. And then of course a couple of the smaller ones for me was, and of course you probably have some of these already in your list. The Razor Crest coming back. Love that. I love the ship.
Big positive.
It is one of my favourite ships in the newer Star Wars.
Agreed. Another clink if I had a Margot.
100%.
Definitely.
Good mix of force abilities from Grogu.
Yep.
Now I don't know if you've got more to say on that, but for me it was just, that's all I really have to say. I like the mix of force abilities.
He doesn't keep using the same
you get a nice
again.
mix.
You can see he's learned a good few things.
All the droids on Nal Hutta, the B1 battle droids and stuff like that. That was great because
I love that you picked up on
gave me the again, what was it I said earlier? It gave me the nostalgia. I went, the droids
the nostalgia factor.
And again, it felt there was a mix of kind of new and old droids mixed in there.
They were using it wasn't like there's a B1 battle droid. It was like, that droid has the head from a B1.
Yeah,
I copped that immediately.
Yeah,
I was
did I.
That's cool.
Because as well as that, because just walking around in the background, there looked to be a couple of the droids that Anakin and Obi-Wan fight in Clone Wars. Are they not assassin droids? No, the ones that are really nimble. They usually have the sword. What are they called?
Commando droids.
Commando droids. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. Commando droids, which I think are cool. So there was a couple of them I spotted running around as well, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. And again, I think the last thing, pro for me, the music was perfect. Yeah. The music was perfect.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't John Williams, but it was still fantastic score overall on the music for me.
So on that note, can I do mine?
Yeah, my pros. That's my pros. Again, as I said, I
wasn't going to start with this one, but since you finished with that one, I'm going to continue on and talk about the music, because the music was phenomenal.
Fantastic.
It was
phenomenal.
Just beautiful.
Yeah.
It was kind of the main Mando theme that we know and love, but it was turned into different things. It's just that main theme was kind of there the whole way
again,
through.
it's the same composer as the Mando theme, but it felt like he really leaned into what John Williams did with the grand operatic music.
Literally have written down here. So the guy who did the score for the film is Ludwig Göransson, which
a name like Ludwig, you're bound to be fantastic with music.
Well, I don't know if that name rings a bell to you. It should, because he's actually he's won 3 Oscars for best original musical score.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Again, the name doesn't ring a bell with me, but
for Oppenheimer, these are big films. Oppenheimer.
I still haven't seen Oppenheimer.
Pause. I'm not going to get into that.
No, that's fine.
Because
I wanted to watch it. I asked Annette, did you want to watch it? She was like, yeah, but not yet. And
it's a very long... It's a fucking 3-hour long biopic, basically.
Yeah.
But it is very good. Performances in that are absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I do want to watch it.
You must
is
watch
on my list of movies. Yeah.
So, 3 Oscars. Oppenheimer, Sinners, and the music in Sinners. If you ask my wife, the music is... Like, she loves Sinners. Sinners is, to her, the best movie that's been released in the last 10 years. She fucking loves Sinners.
Fair enough.
It's... The music in that is amazing.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Another one I haven't watched.
And Black Panther.
Black Panther's really good. The first one?
Yes.
Yeah. Black Panther was one of my favourite Marvel movies. I have to say it is up there in my list of Marvel because there's a lot of Marvel movies.
And as well, I remember watching that in the cinema and coming out going, that soundtrack was awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, the soundtrack, and I know this is probably, I'm probably not being fair. Sometimes I just don't think of the soundtrack after I watch a movie, and like at the time I'll go, oh, that music is good. But most of the time I walk away going, eh. But the soundtrack for Mandolorian Grogu was phenomenal.
And as you say,
phenomenal.
Like I have here, it's very John Williams-esque, the way that...
Yeah, it's almost like an
Göransson
homage. It's almost like an homage.
Yeah, it's very like the way that John Williams would have done it, but he has his own spin.
Yeah, it's his own. It felt unique enough.
And the funny thing is that so Ludwig Göransson, as I just said, has won 3 Oscars for Best Original Musical Score, which is only 1 behind John Williams. John Williams has 4. He has his for Jaws, E.T., Schindler's List, and of course Star Wars: A New Hope.
I've seen all of those.
But yeah, I thought it was just interesting that I came out of that film thinking that music was awesome. And it's the same guy that I had those same thoughts about with those other movies, and it was very John Williams-esque, and that was to your point that you kind of mentioned. I just wanted to carry on.
No, 100%. You keep going.
In that same vein. As I said, same as you, Razor Crest is back. I'd love to see more of it. It's one of my favourite ships that they've like newly introduced ships in the Star Wars universe, even though it's in the lore it's an old ship.
But it
doesn't exist anymore. But
on screen, it's newer.
In terms of when it's been released to us, it's new. I thought that was very good. We have just the sheer fact, as you said before, it's Star Wars on the big screen. Yeah. Like those, I think
you said that first. I just reiterated.
I haven't seen those wipe transitions since 2019. So that was pretty cool. Again, as you mentioned, the V1 battle droids, kind of with that nostalgic feel, and I kind of feel like the nostalgic feel is what, like, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau know exactly what they're doing.
Absolutely, they do.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Absolutely, they do.
They took what was a great show, they took what was likeable about that show, and they stuck with it. Like, you have Mando's pure just badassery and aura.
Oh yeah.
Mainly in the opening scene.
Oh yeah.
But that kind of continues throughout. And
Grogu's
again, like little mischief and being cute, that was great. Their relationship together, the Razor Crest being, but it's just all round a good time.
And again, the opening sequence with the walkers, that's an homage to when they're fighting on Hoth, and Luke uses his gun to get up. It's there's a lot of
callbacks, a lot of
to
like
what's
Easter
already,
eggs, maybe.
but
like you
they're
say.
not the main focus. They're there to give you just little Easter eggs to go, oh yeah, look.
You generally have the nostalgic feel that's created by all of this stuff. Like it's essentially the Rebels versus the Empire.
Yeah.
You get to see X-wings.
Yeah, which are again the X-wing
Classic
is
Star Wars.
in my opinion, like obviously Star Destroyer, amazing. The Venator from Clone Wars, my favourite. Yeah, my favourite ship from Star Wars, followed very closely by the Consular, which you don't get to see much of, but it's still a fan. Design wise, to me is an almost flawless ship. But the X-wings are iconic. Like when I think Star Wars and I think ships, yeah, you've got the Millennium Falcon, but the X-wings are still
iconic,
very iconic,
absolutely iconic. So you have all of that, and then like you have all of these. They're kind of, that's like the overarching kind of feel of it. Like you have the huts, they're kind of back, and then like it just made you feel like, okay, I'm back in Star Wars. Like it was just that. It felt
feel of familiar,
that nostalgic feel.
And
there's
that
no
warm,
other
familiar feeling to it.
There's no other way of saying it. Like that's just it is what it is. I'm going to say the same thing about this that I said about the TV show when that came out. This movie will be very popular with women and children. Women not only, I mean, probably single-handedly because of Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, but again, I think you might be looking at that through the lens of Erga.
There's a lot of women who love Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, but she seems to be like
she's
at the top of that list.
She's at the top of the list, but there is others like.
Yeah.
No, I do think it'll be popular with women, not only because of Pedro Pascal, and with like be popular with kids as well, because well, it's kid friendly, so mums can bring their kids, or like you said, it's a family Star Wars thing. Families can go together.
Yeah.
As we did, so that's a plus. Also, I feel like this is a big one. It's an interesting one, and it is a positive. So out of all this time I've been saying, oh, it's aimed at kids, it's slow, it's low stakes.
Yeah,
I get
out
of all of that, there's a good point to come.
Yeah.
Which is, I think this could be the perfect entry point for somebody into Star Wars.
Yeah.
If I was trying to introduce someone to Star Wars, this is like how you soft launch Star Wars.
Yeah.
Someone. Watch this
I
film.
agree.
You get all that nostalgic classic feel. You get X-Wings. You get the Rebels versus the Empire.
You're getting a taste of everything.
You get all of that stuff. But the main package that you get is Mando being a badass and Grogu being cute. And it's very low stakes.
Yeah.
It's very just entertainment focused. And that would be easy for somebody to go, okay, I actually quite like this. And there's not a lot of people speaking alien languages because, as I said, like, Matt of the Heart speaks English.
There's not too much going on. It's not too intense.
It's not too lore heavy.
No. It's a good, I agree, it is a good kind of starting point for somebody who's really not sure or unfamiliar or, again, kids, you want to get them into Star Wars.
You can't start them on the episodic movies. You can't.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, you've got the problem of, and I understand this. For me, obviously, I'm a massive original trilogy fan. Love them.
As we know.
Empire is my favourite movie. Like, of all movies, Empire Strikes Back is
Perfectly
my
valid
favourite fucking
opinion.
movie.
Perfectly valid opinion.
But imagine trying to get a kid to watch that now. Between the special effects and
or the lack thereof.
The lack thereof, and like the overall pacing and the feel of the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
I completely understand. So for a lot of kids, that's going to be very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the prequels,
which are a little bit better in terms of effects.
They're gonna, there's a lot of colours, a lot of flashing, but again, they're very intense. They're very heavy movies. There's a lot going on there. After like you have the Phantom Menace, which is
very
okay,
lore
but
heavy.
You're lore heavy. There's a lot of between all the political intrigue and the emotional stakes and a lot of this, a lot of understanding the prequels is being able to understand the subtler side of the emotional stakes that are at play in the movie, and being able to feel that, especially like as you come to the end of the trilogy and you've got Revenge of the Sith, you've got the big scenes, you've got the culmination of Anakin's arc, the again it's I think the perfect scene to sum it up from Revenge of the Sith is the March on the Temple.
Yeah.
the actual weight in that scene is insane. And obviously, if I know I haven't finished it, but you watch Clone Wars, that scene has a lot more emotional weight to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, you bring a child into that, I get that. So I do agree with your point. This movie's a great soft launch point to get somebody in Star Wars.
Because if you show somebody this, it doesn't have to be a kid, but if you show someone who isn't sure about Star Wars, thinks it's a bit nerdy, thinks it's a bit geeky, but would like to kind of maybe try it, I think start with that. Then you can kind of say to them, okay, well, if you liked that, try the TV show, because then you'll get to see
see more about
how they got to this point, how Mandalorian Grogu met and all that. So then you go to that,
and that's going to whet their appetite for the overall story.
Yeah, you kind of get more into the universe. It's more intense, higher stakes. You kind of get a bit of, because obviously within the Mandalorian series, you have a bit of Boba Fett, you have a bit of Luke, you have a bit of Ahsoka, you have a bit of this, that, and the other, which then you can go, oh well, like that was the that's the state of the universe at that point, the galaxy at that point.
Yeah.
Would you like to see basically the origin story of
how we got up to that?
We got up to this point, and then you show them the episodic movies. And I love watching stuff in chronological order. I'm a big advocate for chronology in stuff. However, somebody new to Star Wars, you have to show them 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
you have to.
That's what I did with Lynette.
And then just pretend.
Yeah, no, Lynette was already
pretend that 7, 8, 9.
Well, as you, if you notice when I was making my point about the movies, I didn't even mention them for obvious reasons. They weren't even in consideration.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lynette was a fan of Star Wars beforehand. Not obviously as big as us, but she was still a fan. But she still said there was parts of it that she still didn't quite understand, because she always watched them in release order.
Mm-hmm.
So I got her to I eventually went, right, let's watch them chronologically. Let's watch episode 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3.
That would be release order.
No, sorry. I got her to watch them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got her to watch them that way, sorry. So, and then she was like, now a lot of stuff makes more sense. You connect dots watching them that way. Now for me, because I've watched them so many times, it doesn't matter what way I watch them, because I'm like, I know exactly what's going on.
Me personally, and I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, but I'd watch them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the way I'd watch them. I'd watch them 1, 2, 3, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6. But somebody new, I feel like you have to go with release order, just so they get the big holy fuck.
Yeah, I
with
think
Darth Vader.
Not just that. I think release order also, if you're bringing somebody into Star Wars, release order is also a little bit easier to get into, because
the special effects get better as you go on.
Special effects get better, but as well as that, it's not as complex.
Mm.
And again, if you get them to watch the first movie, if you get them to watch A New Hope, it's a self-contained movie, because George Lucas didn't know if
he was going to get to make any
more. So he was like, I'll do the first movie, we'll see how it does, and it'll be self-contained. Mm-hmm. And it is. You can watch that first movie and go, there you go.
And it's one of the best movies of all time.
It is. It's a fantastic movie. It's Shakespeare in space. Like, that's what it has been known as for many, many years. You know what I mean? It is. It's a classic story. It's King Arthur. It is fucking... It's the same fucking core concept of Harry Potter, of Hamlet. Like, there's all these classic stories. They're all taken from the same kind of inspiration. But it really is King Arthur in space. If you think about it, at its core...
I'll give that to you.
You know what I mean? You've got this young person who has a big history, he's not really aware of it all. Then you have this old mentor, father figure type person, comes along to help them. Lord of the Rings did the same thing with Bilbo and Gandalf. It's you might say it's a trope, but it's classic, it works. And that's why I always say, if you're bringing somebody in Star Wars, it's actually probably easier to get them to watch it in release order, just because they then have that... They have episode 4, 5 and 6 in the back pocket, and they kind of have it in their mind of what's going on and what it's about, and all. Then the prequels make sense. And then if you're going to get them to watch it again, tell them to watch it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because then
they might
click and they go, okay,
yeah.
I know why this is,
Some of my kind of smaller positives, I liked the CGI was mostly good.
Yeah,
it was
there was a
janky
couple
in
of
a
bits.
couple of bits.
Mostly was
the
fine.
droids at the end, the big droids.
Yeah,
they were
they
were doing some weird things.
I think
I don't know if that was just the animation or not, but it fucked with me.
I'd say if I had to guess, I'd say what happened was because the CGI was mostly really good. I'd say the sequence might have been rushed, or there might have been a couple of changes. And of course, if you rush the CGI guys, stuff is gonna slip. If you're rushing the editors, you're going to get
choppy. Like some of the CGI was a bit off in places.
Again, I think it comes down to pacing of the movie overall as well. Doesn't help.
Yeah, that's also very true. I thought we got a good mix of storytelling, comedy, and also then with the combat we got some good hand-to-hand ground combat, and we got some aerial combat as well.
I do have a follow-on
to
the comedy side of things as well. I have a question about that after.
Okay. I'm interested to hear what that is. We got a good mix of everything.
Yeah.
Mandalorian Starfighters. It's cool to see them.
Yeah.
Because I love the Mandalorians. They're great.
Yeah. And I love the fact the TV show does explore more about the Mandalorian. So again, as you said, if you're not really up on it and you haven't bothered watching it, because again, you get people who are just like, I just watched the movies and then I was done. Especially after the sequel trilogy, a lot of people kind of walked away from Star Wars, and I can understand why.
Yeah.
But Mandalorian is a fantastic TV show, and again, and as I said with the New Hope, it is self-contained. You could watch the Mandalorian TV show and never have to watch another piece of Star Wars because it's on its own.
You don't need to.
You don't need to. It kind of explains everything you need to explain. So there is that.
The side characters I thought were really good.
Yeah.
As you kind of touched on earlier, you have Zeb, you have Sigourney Weaver's character.
I can't remember her name.
She's Sigourney Weaver.
She's Ripley from fucking Aliens. Like every time I see her, it's like, what the fuck is Ripley doing here?
Yeah,
where does Xenomorphs?
Whatever her bleeding character's name is. The street vendor guy.
Yes,
he was very cool. I know you have a thing. Just let me get through the sentence, and then you can say that. The street vendor guy, Embo, is a very cool cameo.
Yeah, for you he was.
For me, he was very cool because again, like I've watched the Clone Wars in its entirety multiple times, and Embo is one of the coolest bounty hunters.
Well, I'm on season 5 of Clone Wars, and he's in it.
Yeah. It's very cool.
Apparently, the dog is a different dog. I know they're not dogs, but it's a dog. It's a different dog.
The space dog.
The space dog is a different. In the movie, is not the one from the TV show.
No, it's a different one.
Same species, but a different one.
Yeah. I wanted to see more of them. I didn't think they got enough screen time. Although there is a very badass, cool sequence with Embo when he's kind of going to essentially kill Mando.
Yeah.
That was very cool. In the dark, in the rain, the thunderstorm. It was just very, very, very cool. I enjoyed that. But I did have there about the whole thing of Zeb not really having a backstory or even an introduction as to be like, oh, this is Zeb, he's from blah blah blah.
Honestly, I don't think he needed it, but because I'd say they were planning to do a sequel, which probably would have explored a little bit more of that. They probably wanted to see how people reacted, And again, as I said, they were chopping down nearly a full season of a TV show into a movie.
True.
They probably didn't have time to explore.
Very true.
They probably decided, look, we can't explore his backstory. It doesn't, in the context of the movie we're making, it doesn't make sense. So I can understand that too.
But overall, I would absolutely recommend anybody go and watch it. I didn't give it. It's not a 10 out of 10 movie. It's not. It's not going to blow you away. But
you're not going to regret going to see it, especially if you go see it in the cinema.
It's Star Wars in the cinema. We need Star Wars to do well in the cinema, so that Disney will consider making more stuff in the cinema rather than just stuff for us to watch on our phones and our tablets and our TVs at home and stuff like that.
They're a corporation. All they're going to look at the bottom line. And as I said, it'd be interesting to see if they do it in 6 months or a year. Look at the watch figures on Disney Plus and compare that to, the box office figures and the watch figures for the likes of the sequels and the likes of the Solo and
Rogue One and all that sort of stuff.
Then you'll have your statistics, I think.
I do, as to your point earlier when you said, some people kind of will just wait.
Yeah.
Because the last thing that they did in cinemas wasn't great, so people might just be like, I can wait a month until it comes on to Disney. I did the same thing with Marvel, the stuff that they were making after Endgame. The 10-year build-up of like, I'm going to go to cinema because I want to see the scene at the end of the credits.
Yeah, and all the intertwined lore and
everything like that. Like, after Endgame, I didn't have that anymore.
No,
I didn't. I wasn't like, what are we building to here? Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And the stuff that they were choosing to make movies about just wasn't that interesting to me.
No.
So I was happy enough to wait a month or two until it came onto Disney and then just watch it at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, please do go see it in the cinema because we need it to do well so that we can keep getting Star Wars in the cinema.
Yes, absolutely.
You had questions for me, I believe.
I've a list of cameos. I want to see if you caught any of them.
Okay.
Then I have a couple of questions. I have like 4 questions, and as I said, you can either answer them now or you can answer them later.
If
or
I
you
can answer them now in a succinct manner, I will do.
Yeah. If it's a concise answer or you want to think on it, that's fine. So first thing I wanted to say was there was an homage to Carl Weathers in the movie. The guy who played Apollo Creed. He was in the Mandalorian TV show.
Okay.
When Mando's leaving when he's leaving the arena, there's a name above the door. Obviously, and it's in an alien language.
I didn't catch that.
No, well, it's in an alien language, but it actually translates to Weathers Carl, for Carl Weathers, which is a nice. Again, it's not a big thing, but it's a nice little homage.
That is very cool.
Cameos in the movie. The chef. Remember you were saying about the chef?
Yes.
Lynette asked me, was that Woody Allen? Because of the voice. It was Martin Scorsese.
No way.
Which I think is cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah. Do you remember when they were flying to, I think it was Nal Hutta, and they had the air traffic control droids, or it could have been the New Republic base?
Yes.
I can't remember where they were flying to, but they had the air traffic control droids that gave them permission to land.
Mm-hmm.
That was Anthony Daniels. Which I think...
Such random cameos.
But obviously, that I think that means he's now been in every... No, not every Star Wars movie, but he's been the one actor who's been in most of them. Obviously, we had Dave Filoni as Trevor Wolf again, because he was the same in the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Witwer done the voice for some of the snowtroopers and some of the other characters in the background. The only one he's been credited with so far is some of the snowtroopers from the first opening sequence, which I think is cool because, again, he's a massive Star Wars fan, as we know. I think he's fantastic.
That was a new trooper that was introduced, no?
Think so.
On the... What do you call those walker things?
Oh, are they AT-RTs?
AT-RTs,
yeah.
The AT-RT operator, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we recently got
that.
That's a new Lego helmet,
yeah,
obviously.
I love the AT-RT. And then the last kind of cameo, because I've already done the Jerick match with the chess set game thing.
So I'm just editing this, and I thought I should explain what Rikki means there by the Jerick match. The little thing that he was referencing was, you know, the little chess game that they do play on the Millennium Falcon, when the line is "Let the Wookiee win." Those characters in the Jerick match are the same characters that are actually in the arena scene in Mandolorian Grogu, which is really cool. But another thing is that the move that is used, where one of the creatures picks another one up above their head and slams them down, that move is actually used in the arena fight scene, which is really cool. And I don't think it was mentioned before, because I think it was part of the clip that got lost because it got corrupted. We were both saying that the CGI in the arena scene is probably the best CGI in the whole film. So that was that. Back to the pod.
Awesome.
In the background, I don't know if you copped this. This is the other one that I copped him with. In the background on the New Republic base, there was BD droids running around, like BD-1 from Jedi Fallen Order.
Love BD-1.
Which I think he's a great droid. So the fact that he was in it, I was like, that's cool. It was just a random little blink and you miss it moment, but it was cool. So yeah, there's a couple of cameos that were really good in the movie, in my opinion. I have got a couple of questions.
If I can answer them now,
yeah,
in a concise way,
I'll give you a quick and easy one. Will you do a rewatch of the movie soon, or will you leave it for a while? It's going to come out on Disney Plus in a month less. Are you going to watch it soon, or do you think you might leave it for maybe a year or whatever?
I would say we will.
Well, I know Erica's probably going to have to watch it just because she missed so much of it.
I would say that's probably the only reason right now, that I would
Yeah.
watch that
So
again.
if it was just for you personally, not taking that into consideration,
Not taking Erica missing 40 minutes of the film into consideration, I probably wouldn't rewatch it straight away now.
no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
What about you?
No, I'd be the same. I'm actually in the same boat there. I was like thinking about it going, because it's something that just struck me. I kind of went, like, I'd watch the Star Wars movies like on a weekly rotation if it was up to me, just because.
Yeah.
You know, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the only Star Wars movies that are in
That
the
exist,
numerical order. Second question then. How do you feel about the fact that that Jon Favreau had like season 4 ready to go? Oh, well, not ready to go, but most of it like done. He had all the ground, you know, he'd written out all the bits and pieces, and then he got told, "Oh no, turn that into a 2-hour movie."
I feel like that's typical Disney. Not knowing when something is something and then like trying to make it something else. I feel like I would have definitely preferred it as a TV show. I think it would have been better as a TV show. I also think if they were going to do a movie, it should have come out 3 years ago after season 3 finished.
A year after season 3 would have been ideal.
I think that this movie would have done a lot better if it was released.
Yeah.
Either straight after season 3 or like maybe a year.
Yeah.
After season 3.
I think
It would definitely do a lot better.
so. I have two theories. Firstly, I think they needed to release. They felt like they needed to release a Star Wars movie, and didn't know what to do. They had this project like where it was like pretty much done. They were like, we'll just throw that out.
Yeah, we'll just turn that into a movie. And
I also
sacrifice it.
think that part of it might be to do with the fact that the Acolyte did so bad, and a lot of people done a big going, Mandalorian's amazing, Acolyte's terrible, the whole comparison thing.
Yeah.
Of, this was really good and that was really bad, might have been a little bit of a, maybe it's just me personally, but I feel it was a bit of a middle finger to the fans from herself, because they didn't like her project.
Oh, I'm taking your favourite TV show away from you.
Yeah, because you didn't like what I wanted to do.
Because you didn't like mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was maybe personal, and I'm going, that's not good.
Well, that's why she's out now.
Yeah, it's exactly it. Like, people don't like her. She doesn't. I don't think she really likes Star Wars all that much.
Clearly not.
Because like she didn't really give people what they wanted, or maybe that's the wrong way to put it. She didn't give people what they wanted in the way they wanted it. Now again, you're not going to be able to please everybody, but like just trying to change things drastically is not a bad idea.
But don't call fans idiots for not liking something that you've made, which is
calling fans stupid and calling them sexist is
like,
not good.
You can't just take something that George Lucas spent X amount of time setting up and everything is a certain way for a reason, and then you just start making shit up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And changing rules. Like, you can't do that.
No, not to something like Star Wars.
Like it.
Not to something like Star Wars. It's huge. Last one. I have a 2-part question for you.
Okay.
Okay. What are you hoping for from the future of Mandalorian Grogu? Especially with the cancellation of the TV show, the fact that they've gone, we're not doing the TV show, we've done a movie. And I think they were hoping to be able to go, we'll do more movies.
Okay.
So
that's part one.
Part one is like, part two then is obviously what are you hoping for in general from like Star Wars or Lucus Films next projects.
Okay.
Especially considering Dave Filoni's taking over and Jon Favreau's obviously going to be his right hand, not including the fact that I don't know if you noticed, but the fact that they're working on a Starfighter movie.
Right.
Yeah. Now I know there's a Starfighter game, so unless I misread that, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so I was reading that article. I was reading about like the whole thing with the production of the Mandalorian Grogu and the fact that Jon Favreau had the movie and stuff. It did say that I did say at the end of it, there's a Starfighter movie coming up. It's about like obviously starfighters and Star Wars. So apart from that, which
that'd be very
again,
cool.
yeah, that I think we will look
Not
at maybe down the line if there's more information, when there's more information about it. But what are you hoping to see then in future from just Star Wars,
the franchise in general?
the franchise in general, the IP itself?
Okay, so part one to your question. I kind of had a little section here of like what's next. What would I like them to do? Personally, I'd like them to go back to the TV show. I'd like them to reevaluate what they're after doing. because the TV show format is the best way to tell Mando and Grogu's story. I would specifically like them to release episodes based around different missions that Mando is doing for the Resistance. Like, now that we know he's directly working with the Resistance,
like I was talking about earlier, with do
maybe
episodic where like he's taking down
this particular
targets.
this particular target.
Yeah, I get
the remnants of the old Empire. I think that's a very good place to start. If they're not going to do that and they're going to do another movie, I mean, who knows? I don't know how they're going to follow on from what they just did, because what they just did, although it was a good fun movie that I liked, there was nothing for me to go. There was no clear path for where we're going next. There was no this is the resolution, but we still have this kind of open or adding like that.
The only thing they left open was the fact that the Imperial Remnant is out there. But
the Imperial Remnant is still there.
We already knew that.
That's long live the Empire. It's kind of like it's the whole thing. It never dies. There's always some cunt somewhere.
Yeah, like we knew the Imperial Remnant was out there because you've got Thrawn, you've got Gideon, you've got fucking all these people that have been just popping up left, right, and centre. For me personally, and again, I was super hyped, and I try not to be hyped because I've been let down so many times before. I was actually so hyped for the Acolyte because it was set like 1,000 years ago. Different. It's all this is Old Republic. We're saying I would love to get a series of movies, even a movie, like a good 2 hour long movie, set maybe 5,000 or 6,000 years ago, even during the Mandalorian War. Would be cool. One of the Mandalorian Wars maybe would be cool. But I would like to see something from the Old Republic.
So that's
as they call it, the High Republic.
So that's part 2 to your question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd like to see just to give you an idea of what I would like to see from the franchise. Because with the Mandalorian Grogu TV show debacle, I agree they should go back to
the TV show format,
TV format.
Episodic format.
Makes more sense. I don't think they done right by Jon Favreau. I don't think they done right by the fan base, and I don't think they done right by Mandalorian and Grogu. What they had already built, I think they made a mistake. As I said, I enjoyed the movie. I don't have an issue with that, but I think they made a mistake in doing it when they did it and how they did it by going, let's just grab season 4 and chop it up.
I don't know if we're going to get any more Mandalorian and Grogu.
I don't think we are.
What's Pedro's contract like?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know?
I don't think we're going to get any more simply because they went, we're not doing a TV show, we've done a movie. And I think the plan was do a movie and then
that's it.
More Mandalorian movies.
Yeah.
Instead of, because like let's be honest, it's going to be cheaper for them to do the movie. It might cost more up front.
Yeah.
But they'll only have to pay Pedro Pascal once. They'll only have to they'll only pay for these things.
Yeah.
Rather than paying him, however many million an episode or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
100%. In terms of the part 2 to your question, what do I want to see from the franchise as a whole going forward? I think your idea is excellent. Do essentially a Knights of the Old Republic movie.
I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't touch Knights of the Old Republic. The games, there's 2 games. People are big fans.
I know it's
the era is definitely right. Don't get me wrong.
But I know you're saying if they do it wrong.
Yeah.
But what if they do it right?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Darth Revan.
But what if
Darth
they do
Malik.
it right?
Oh
Ricky?
my god. Revan and Malik would be amazing. But you again, as I said earlier, you've legends, you've all that content to draw from.
Just saying.
I know.
What if they did it right?
I think personally they should have done, like, instead of doing the sequel trilogy they did, I think personally what they should have done is they should have done the first movie about Luke's order and how it was different from what came before. Then they should have done the fall of Luke's order, why it collapsed, and the rise of, well, Kylo Ren, but like, it would have been different from what happened before. It would have still had that familiar Star Wars feeling, and it would have felt fresh and new. Or
we didn't,
drop the Skywalker thing altogether and jump 1,000 years into the future.
Because you're not just going, oh yeah, like that's kind of what annoyed me most with the sequels, is that they were like, we're trying to do something new. Because like for me, the sequels have a completely different tone altogether than the other 6 films.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's, they're trying to freshen it up or whatever, make it more family friendly maybe. I don't know. But then they were still going, oh, I'm going to take Han Solo, and I'm going to take, you know, Luke Skywalker and Leia, and I'm going to take
as much as I can from the original trilogy.
Oh, my main villain? Yeah, that's Han Solo's son. Like, they've taken as much from the stuff that we love as they can, and then just ruining it. I feel like Ben Solo could have been a much more relatable character had they have set it up the way that you just suggested, whereby they have a film going, this is what Luke did.
Because then people would be looking for more of it.
Yeah.
And it would give you a reason to have Luke as that nihilistic, grumpy, angry character. Having a, why.
I've tried this once. This is how it went.
And this is exactly what happened the last time. And not doing it again. Let's just let it die.
Yeah,
it'd make sense. The reason I was laughing is because a saying popped into mind. With the sequel trilogy, the saying that popped into mind for me was, you can put makeup on a pig, it's still a pig.
You can't polish a turd.
You can't polish a turd. It's like, yeah. But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential. It's a galaxy. There's so much potential to do so much. And like that, it's not like recent Star Wars projects with new characters haven't been unique and different. I know it's a video game, but Jedi Fallen Order, even without Jedi Survivor, which I haven't finished because, oh my god, that game is massive.
Yeah, I still haven't finished it either.
Jedi Fallen Order is fantastic. It introduces us to completely new characters. It gives us a character to really get to know.
Mm-hmm.
It worked really well.
I'll tell you what I would like. I'd like a live action Cal Kestis film in canon.
Rumor again, I see a lot of rumors. Rumor I seen was we will see Cal Kestis live action at some point.
I would love to see that.
I think we will get.
And I'd love it to be the voice actor who plays him in the video game.
It's his face anyway.
I know it's his face anyway.
So
which is exactly why.
And I don't know if you watch Gotham or if anybody else watched Gotham. It wasn't overly popular.
I think I've watched Gotham.
He's he plays two characters in Gotham, and he's brilliant in it. As far as acting goes, he's fantastic. So definitely would love to see him. But yeah, that's a great example of we've got something from Star Wars that's different, it's unique, it's new, it's aside from Skywalker, it's aside from all that.
Having said that, there's some new things that I would like to see would be something with the Old Republic, something with Cal Kestis. That would be great. Nothing to do with Skywalkers at all.
Yeah. Having
said that, the child in me really wants Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen
to do a live action
Clone Wars. Because I just feel so bad for Hayden. He got so much hate when those movies came out, and they've got better with age.
Oh, they've aged.
And as we've spoken about off camera before, we've had very lengthy discussions about the fact that what the sequels have done to the prequels is what the prequels did to, the original trilogy.
But honestly, I can't see the sequels aging like the prequels.
No, I don't think they will.
The thing for me was
that's not the point I was trying to make.
Even with at the time my gripes with the prequels, and again, some of them I think are still justified. And I understand more of it now because I have more context. I still think it's a little bit ridiculous that Palpatine was so prepared for everything. It's kind of a bit silly, but suspension of disbelief, I can let it go. But you get the point I'm making.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, I had gripes with them, but I think that's just human nature. We're gonna find the issues we have with things, and it's fine. But I can't see the sequels aging well because the prequels have a lot of redeeming qualities within them. They're overall good movies.
Yeah.
You have issues, don't get me wrong. Jar Jar Binks is a horrendous concept of a character. I will die on that hill. I don't care. I don't care how much people like him. Darth Jar Jar, honestly, is a really a funny theory, but is ridiculous.
Take a drink anytime he says me, so.
Yeah. But yeah,
He'd be
don't get me wrong, stupid. But
Yes, I'll give you that. But my point being is that Hayden Christensen got a lot of hate for them. He's just a kid in those movies, realistically.
Yeah.
Is it bad
Well, the
acting?
same with...
Is it bad acting? Yes.
Same with the actor who was in Phantom Menace who played Anakin. He got a ton of hatred.
Yeah.
He needed therapy and everything, and I think that's wrong. Like,
It is
straight up,
wrong.
I'd say that's wrong.
Now, we all appreciate it.
Yeah.
The people who, grew up with the original trilogy and watched that, and that was Star Wars to them, when the prequels came out, that was like sacrilege and they hated it.
Yeah.
And was it bad acting? Yes. But now, us who have grown up with the prequels as being like closer to what we know as Star Wars, at least for me anyway,
Yeah.
I love the prequels. And I think
I
they're
do
brilliant
as well.
despite the bad acting.
Because a great, as for me personally, a kind of a point that will kind of help people understand my stance on it is I massively love the original trilogy. Empire's my favourite movie of all time, so it's obviously my favourite Star Wars movie. I would go so far as to say Attack of the Clones is my second favourite Star Wars movie.
There you go. I just love to see
A New Hope
Hayden,
would be next, then Revenge of the Sith.
I just love to see Hayden get his due and
Yeah.
actually be able to go into a film knowing people want to see me.
Well, he was fantastic in Kenobi.
He was.
He was fantastic in Ahsoka.
There are some people that don't like the way he was in Kenobi, but that was bad writing, not bad acting.
But I personally think he was very good, and I think again, it's personal preference. I keep saying this. People will disagree with me on certain things. Other people will agree with me. I did not hate Kenobi. I enjoyed Kenobi. I sat down and I watched it.
I enjoyed Kenobi.
It gave me what I wanted, and it was more Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Exactly.
Hello there.
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I still love the fact that his brother is a Royal Air Force pilot and his call sign is Obi-2 Kenobi.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's true. I've read that in so many places. I've heard it in so many places.
I feel like if you want that to be true, it is true.
As far as I'm concerned, that is fucking fact in real life,
100%.
because it's hilarious. But
great.
it's Hugh McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it really helped me to be able to explain to people why there's such it's 20 years and he goes from being in his 40s to being a really old man. I'm going, he's got all the trauma of being he's got survivor's guilt. He's got the trauma of what Anakin did. He holds that himself. Mm-hmm. He's so much guilt, it's written all over his character. He has the fact of what he had to do to Anakin. He has
he's trying to repress all of his force abilities as well.
Yeah, he's also got the fact that he's going, how were we blinded? How did we not see it? Mm-hmm. He was in front of us the whole time. It was I'm thinking back, he's probably going, it was so clear, it was there. Yeah. How did I not cop this?
And especially if you watch the Clone Wars, it's like, hello, like the TV show. Oh my god.
And then you've got the fact that he's living on Tatooine, which is basically like you go spend 20 years living in the Star. Yeah, a concept I think would be really cool, and I don't know, maybe they do it wrong. I would think an animated TV show would be perfect to do it, even if it's just not as a limited series, 12 episodes. Vader in his first couple of years as Palpatine's apprentice. Mm-hmm. I know there's a comic book done about it, but I think maybe that to me just means there's source material from to work from.
Yeah.
To expand upon, and it would let Hayden Christensen be Vader. It'd let him have his due. Mm-hmm. I think he'd do really well with it because he gets to flesh out the character a lot more, and we would actually get to see Vader's start to the point where he becomes who he is when we finally meet him.
I think that'd be very cool.
It would be cool, and I think it would really feel right for a lot of people, I think. And I think at the same time is because, as I said at the start, Vader's the greatest cinematic villain of all time, in my opinion. The original Aura Farmer, as you said. You make a TV show about him, people are going to watch it, I think.
Yeah, that's money in the bank.
Especially if you do an animated one, because you have Disney. They're known for making animated movies.
Yeah.
Put the budget into what you put into the TV shows or the movies, you'll get a fantastic. Let Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau do what they do best. Leave them be, and then release it. And I guarantee you'll have people clambering to see more of it. You'll have people coming back to Star Wars.
I think it's a great idea. We have been talking for some time. I'd guess anywhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours at this point. So I think that'll do for
Yes.
our review of Mandolorian and Grogu.
Get my
And,
child home and to bed.
Yeah.
I think it was a good. I think though we've been talking a lot, but we kind of talked about a lot of things, and I think it was good to kind of for anybody who watches to let them see what we're actually kind of.
that we do sort of half know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but as well as that, it lets people kind of see what we're kind of here to do, what we want to talk, and concepts. But if there's anything that people want to know about or anything that we can do,
please do let us know in the comments.
I'm more than happy to do research if there's anything that people want to know about, if there's any characters they want to explore, if there's anybody they want us to talk about, or
yeah, we're not just here to do movie reviews or anything like that. We plan to do lots of different stuff on the podcast, on the channel.
Yeah.
As you can kind of tell, we're both really into the Star Wars Lego as well, so we could do something with that, or we could do some more lore focused stuff.
If they would like to see us do something torturous, we could do a recording of the two of us watching one of the awful movies like the sequels. If you want to see two grown men cry.
Well, that either, yeah.
I don't know. All kind of people, all kinds of interests.
Yeah, I suppose. If you have liked the first episode of the podcast, then please do leave the video a like. It will really help out the channel. If you want to hear more of our stupid opinions, then please do consider hitting the subscribe button and make sure you ding dong the little bell when it appears next to it so you get notified when we next upload. I don't know when that will be at this stage. We have no upload schedule whatsoever.
No,
but
I'm going away for a week.
I'm going to have to move house soon, and then I will be away in September as well. So we both got a lot going on, but we will try and make the time. We're currently doing this on a Tuesday evening,
which is
it's now
fantastic.
9:30. So yeah, we'll try and make room in the schedule to be able to film and do stuff. Hopefully something happens that we can review that's relevant, like this film. That's kind of why I wanted to kick it off with this, because
of course it's a great idea.
If you guys have any ideas, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. We've talked to a few people, especially in the old job. There's a few things. Fred said he'd like to see more of.
Oh, I'll be sending this to Fred
Ventures
straight away.
Oh yeah, shout out to Fred. He'd like to see more about Asajj.
Interesting one.
Which is an interesting character. I said we could definitely explore that. He hasn't watched the Clone Wars. He is a Star Wars fan.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't watched Clone Wars, so he'd like to. He's thinking about maybe getting into that. But like I said,
don't think about it. Do it.
Yeah. If there's anything people want to know about, or if there's anything people want us to look into, we can do that too.
Absolutely.
I have no problem with that. And yeah. The other thing we were messing about with earlier was call signs. If anybody has any ideas. My wife suggested Red Leader, Gold Leader. I jokingly texted Will and said, "Oh, do we need call signs for the podcast?" Because
it's Echo-based radio.
It's Echo-based radio.
So.
And I went, something like Darth Kenobi, because I just wanted to come up with something random. I was like,
Red Leader, Gold Leader.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
It is cool. It is really,
that.
really cool. We could do fucking clone tags either, which could be cool, because there's so many cool clones. Mm-hmm. But if people want to come up with ideas or suggestions and let us know, I think definitely would be cool. Yeah.
And that's it. Please go and see Mandalorian and Grogu in cinemas, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us to prattle on for the last however long, and we appreciate it. Yeah, well, we've been going for 2 or so hours, and hopefully they won't have to.
Hopefully I can edit it down.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to want to listen to us for 2 fucking hours.
Oh God.
Yeah, Paddy the Englishman and his Irish compatriot.
I'm your favourite coloniser.
Absolutely my favourite coloniser.
Peace.